Good morning, Standard 9 students. Today I shall be describing and explaining how Portia is trying to prove to Narissa that her father's device of the lottery system is not appropriate. So, in the last class, we had the prince, the Neapolitan prince, where she had criticized that this prince only talks about a horse. All his conversations and topics is based on his horse, and he feels very proud to say that he can shoe the horse himself. Now that is the work which is done by a blacksmith. Okay. So here Portia acts witty or trying to make fun, a mockery of the Neapolitan prince. Says, I can much afeard my lady, his mother played false with a smith. So now the way when he talks about shoeing the horse, which is the work done by a blacksmith, he says, I think his mother must have had a love affair with a blacksmith. Like in other words, he may be a blacksmith's son. That means from this piece of conversation, we come to know that she has already made fun of the Neapolitan prince and he is not fit to be her husband. Okay. Then there is the county palatine. So the next suitor is the county palatine. Now let us hear what Portia has to say. He did nothing but frown. The county palatine does nothing but frown. Frown means a sad looking face. As who should say, and you will not have me. Choose. He hears merry tales and smiles not. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth. I had rather be married to a death's head with a bone in his mouth than to either of these. God defend me from these two. Okay. Now he says he does nothing but he frowns. Okay. And he is a very serious or sad looking person. So even if you crack or say a funny story or crack a joke, he wouldn't laugh. He's always very serious. Means he's got that serious look on him. So now could you imagine at such a young age, this man is so sad. Okay. And as he'll grow up, he will be considered as a weeping philosopher. A man who's always sad, you know, never smiling, never has a smile on his face, even if you crack a funny joke. He says, now at such a young age, he is like this. Now, can you imagine when he turns old? Usually, people, when they turn old, they have the serious and sad look on their face. So she says, I would prefer marrying a skull, okay, with a bone sticking in his mouth. At least that will look funny and I can smile. I can at least laugh at looking something very funny. Then she prays to God that God defend me from these two. Means protect me or save me from the Neapolitan prince and the county palatine. In other words, these two suitors are not, means I cannot marry them. They are not fit to be my husband. Okay. Now this is the way she is now trying. I told you she is trying to prove to her father, I mean, prove to Narissa that how her father's device of the lottery system can be very fatal because now we're getting suitors who are not fit. Now the Neapolitan prince, he says she calls him a horse. He only talks about horses, 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 and horses. Okay. He has no other conversation. And he takes it a great pride to tell everyone that I can shoe the horse myself, which is actually done by a blacksmith, the work which is done by a blacksmith. That is why she cracks a joke or she acts a bit wicked. And she says, oh, definitely his mother must have been having a love affair with a blacksmith. That is why he has inherited the quality of a blacksmith. Then the next person is the county palatine, a sad, serious looking man who does not even smile when you crack a funny joke. And she considers him to be a weeping philosopher because in such a young age he is so serious. Could you imagine when he turns old how her life will be full of sadness and boredom? She'll get bored living with a man who doesn't even smile. Everybody loves to have a joyful life. They'll love to laugh, you know, smile, be happy. But you cannot live with a man who, or every time, the sad face. So that is why she says, I would rather prefer living with or marrying a skull with a bone sticking in his mouth. At least he will amuse me. At least when I look at him, I can smile. So now she prays to God to save her from these two suitors. So that means now we are very sure that these two prove to be a failure. Okay, means not fit to be a husband. Okay. Then Nerissa, how say you by the French Lord Monsieur Lebon? Now, what is your opinion about the French Lord Monsieur Lebon? Now remember one thing. You must know the European history that France and England, they are both enemies, okay, enemy countries. So now the French do not like the English people, and neither does the English people like the French. Now the English people, they always consider themselves far superior to the French people. So that is why now they make fun. She is now going to make fun of this country and its people. God made him, and therefore let him pass for a man. Since God made him a man, so now we should also consider him a man. Now, what she means is that he is a masculine gender, okay, a male member. but he has not inherited masculine qualities, the qualities which a man should have. That is what she meant, okay? Means he is a man physically, but he does not have the qualities of a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker. Says, I know it is a sin to make fun of others. Okay, to mock somebody or to criticize somebody or to make fun of anyone, it is a sin. But he, why he had a horse better than the Neapolitans. Okay. Says he is a little more superior than the. He also has a horse, but his horse is of a better breed. Okay, than the Neapolitan prince. A better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. Okay, means his frowning is also as bad as the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. Means he is every man. He is just a man, but no man mean doesn't have the manly qualities. Okay. Like he should be bold, courageous, strong, daring. If a throstle sings, a throstle is a bird that lives near the bush. Okay, they are bushy birds. He fails, he falls straight a capering. Now, when a throstle, when the bird sings in the bushes, because they live in the bush, so if they start singing, suddenly he'll start dancing. Okay. Now, this dancing is not because of the music. He is dancing because he is frightened, as if some enemy is attacking him from the back. This is how she's making fun of the Frenchman. Okay. He will fence with his own shadow. Then suddenly he will take out his sword, okay, talwar, and then he'll start fighting in the air as if he's fighting with his enemy due to fear. The bird has made a nice musical sound or making a noise in the bush. He feels that he is being attacked by the enemies. So the way he starts jumping and all, it appears as if he is dancing. But that is due to fear. He is very scared. And then suddenly he takes out then and he starts fighting in the air. If I should marry him, now if I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. Okay. Now marrying him is like marrying 20 husbands. Now why did she say this? If he would despise me, now if he tells me that he hates me, okay, I would forgive him. Means I wouldn't mind if he tells me, Portia, I dislike you, I hate you, I despise you. He says, I wouldn't mind. For if he loves me, and if he loves me, if he says he loves me, I'm sorry, I will not be able to return that love back. Means I cannot love him. In no way I can love him. Okay. So I'll keep it till here. So you learn these three, the qualities of these three suitors. And you must know the sequence. Who is the first suitor, second suitor, and the third suitor. Thank you.